The rain had already soaked through my jacket when I stepped out of the office. I checked my phone and sighed. I was late, tired, and desperate to get home. Then I heard a small voice behind me. "Excuse me." I stopped. A little girl stood near the shopping center entrance, clutching a pink backpack. Her eyes were red, and rainwater ran down her face. "Are you okay?" I asked. She shook her head. "I can't find my mother." I looked around. People rushed past us, hiding beneath umbrellas. "Where did you last see her?" "She was supposed to meet me here." "When?" She said 5 minutes. I checked the time. Nearly an hour had passed. "Okay," I said, crouching beside her. "Don't worry. I'll help you find her. You promise?" "I promise." She studied my face. "What's your name?" I asked. "Lily." "Lily, where is your mother?" "I don't know." "Do you know her phone number?" She shook her head. "Do you know where you live?" She hesitated. "Mom says I shouldn't tell strangers." "That's smart. You shouldn't. I'm not asking you to give me private information. I just want to help you find someone you trust." She pointed toward the shopping center. "Mom was supposed to pick me up after my art class." "Was she driving?" "Yes." "What kind of car?" "Black." I almost smiled. That narrows it down less than you think. For the first time, Lily gave a tiny smile. Then she looked toward the road. "Maybe she's coming." I stood beside her and scanned every passing car. 10 minutes became 20. Then 30. "Maybe we should call the police," I said. "No." Lily grabbed my sleeve. "Please don't leave me." "I won't." "Promise again?" "I promise." I sat with her beneath the awning. I bought her a bottle of water and a small packet of crackers from a nearby shop. "Thank you," she whispered. "You're welcome." She took a bite, then suddenly asked, "Are you from the building over there?" I glanced at my office tower. "Yeah, I work there." "Is your boss scary?" I laughed softly. "You could say that." "What's her name?" "Victoria Blackwood." Lily froze. "My mom's name is Victoria Blackwood." My smile disappeared. "Wait, what did you say?" "My mom is Victoria Blackwood." I stared at her. Victoria Blackwood was not just my boss. She was the CEO who could silence an entire conference room with one look. I had worked under her for 2 years, and I had never heard anyone mention a child. "Are you sure?" I asked. Lily nodded. "That's my mommy." I immediately called the company security desk. "Can you connect me to Victoria Blackwood?" "Mr. Cole, the CEO, left hours ago." "Do you know where she went?" "No, sir." I looked at Lily. "Can you tell me anything else?" "She was meeting me here." She promised. My chest tightened. "I believe you." Another 20 minutes passed. I kept checking the entrance, the road, and my phone. Lily stayed close to me. Then a black car stopped at the curb. The rear door opened. I saw Victoria step out. I had never seen her run. But she ran. "Lily." Lily jumped up. "Mom." Victoria dropped beside her and pulled her into a tight hug. "I thought I lost you." Her voice shook. I stood there silently. The woman who terrified executives now looked completely broken. "I'm sorry," Lily whispered. Victoria held her tighter. "Don't ever scare me like that again." Then Victoria looked at me. Her expression changed instantly. The warmth vanished. Her eyes became cold and sharp. "Ethan Cole." "Yes, ma'am." "What are you doing here?" I found Lily alone. Victoria stared at me. "You found my daughter?" "Yes." She was crying outside. Her jaw tightened. "Why were you alone with my daughter?" I explained everything carefully. "She told me she was waiting for you. I stayed because I didn't want her standing alone in the rain." Victoria glanced at Lily. "Did he bother you?" "No," Lily said quickly. "He helped me. I did nothing more than that." Victoria looked back at me. "Did you call anyone?" "I called security first. They said you had already left." "And you stayed?" "Yes." "Why?" I swallowed. "Because she was scared." For a moment, neither of us spoke. Lily slipped her hand into Victoria's. "Mom, Ethan kept his promise." Victoria looked at our hands, then at me. Her voice became quieter. "Ethan, we need to talk." I simply stayed. "Why were you alone with my daughter?" I expected Victoria to fire me before I reached home. Instead, she stood beneath the shopping center lights, holding Lily against her coat. "Mr. Cole, are you leaving?" I blinked. "I thought you wanted to talk." "I do." Lily tightened her grip on my sleeve. "Can Ethan come with us?" Victoria looked at me. I immediately shook my head. "I can leave if you want." "I didn't say that," Victoria replied. Her voice was calm, but I could see tension in her eyes. "Then what do you want?" "I want to know exactly what happened." I explained everything again. Victoria listened without interrupting. When I finished, she looked at Lily. Did you tell Ethan anything about us? Lily frowned. I told him your name. That was enough. I looked between them. You mean nobody at the company knows? Almost nobody, Victoria said. I stared at her. You're the CEO? How can people not know you have a daughter? Because I made sure they didn't. Why? Victoria's expression hardened. That is not a question you need answered. Lily tugged her coat. Mom, Ethan helped me. I know. Then can he come home with us? Victoria sighed. I expected her to refuse. Instead, she said, our security team is handling another emergency. I need someone I can trust to drive. I pointed at myself. Me? You're the only person here Lily already trusts. I glanced at Lily. She smiled. I trust him. Victoria looked uncomfortable. So do I, she said quietly. I almost laughed. Did I just hear that correctly? Don't make me regret saying it. I opened my car door. After you, Miss Blackwood. Victoria raised an eyebrow. Victoria. I looked at her. She continued. Tonight, just call me Victoria. That small request somehow felt stranger than any order she had ever given me. During the drive, Lily sat between us in the back seat. Ethan. Yes. Do you like your job? Most days. Do you like my mom? I nearly slammed the brakes. Victoria turned toward me. Lily. What? I'm asking. I cleared my throat. Your mother is my boss. That wasn't my question. I heard Victoria sigh. Lily, please sleep. But I'm not tired. 5 minutes later, she was asleep. I smiled. She fell asleep fast. Victoria looked back at her. She does that when she feels safe. I glanced at Victoria through the mirror. You were really scared tonight. Her eyes met mine. I thought something had happened to her. I understand. No, you don't. Her voice cracked slightly. I stayed quiet. After a moment, she continued. People think I keep Lily hidden because I'm ashamed of being a mother. I never thought that. They think I'm cold. I looked at her. You are cold. She gave me a sharp look. I quickly added, usually. For the first time, I saw the smallest smile. Then she looked at Lily. I became cold because being powerful was the only way I could protect her. I didn't know what to say. When we reached her house, Victoria carefully lifted Lily from the back seat. I followed them inside. Thank you, she whispered. I nodded. Victoria carried Lily upstairs, then returned with a blanket. She covered her daughter gently and brushed wet hair away from her forehead. I stood in the doorway. The woman I knew from the office was gone. I saw a mother instead. You really love her, I said. Victoria looked at me. She is everything I have. The word stayed with me. The next morning, my phone rang before I reached my desk. Ethan, my office. Now. I froze. Yes, Victoria. When I entered, she pointed toward the chair. Sit. I sat. I have a proposal. That sounds dangerous. It might be. She slid a folder across the desk. I opened it. Temporary family security assistant? Something like that. I stared at her. You want me to become Lily's escort? I want you to help when my regular security team cannot. Why me? Because Lily trusts you. I closed the folder. And what aren't you telling me? Victoria's eyes became serious. Someone inside my company may be watching Lily. My stomach dropped. Watching her? Yes. Who? I don't know yet. Then why are you telling me? She leaned forward. Because last night wasn't random. I stared at her. What happened? Victoria lowered her voice. Someone knew exactly where Lily would be. I felt a chill run through me. And I think that someone works for me. Are you saying someone at the company knew about Lily? I asked. Yes. Then this isn't just a family problem. Victoria shook her head. No. It is a company problem now. I closed the folder slowly. And you want me in the middle of it? I do. Whether you like it. I accepted Victoria's offer the next morning. I told myself it was because Lily needed someone she trusted. The truth was simpler. I still felt responsible for finding her alone in the rain. When I entered the office, Daniel was waiting beside my desk. He grinned. So, is it true? Is what true? You got promoted. Not exactly. You're working directly for Victoria now. Temporarily. Daniel laughed. Man, you found a shortcut to the CEO's inner circle. I frowned. It isn't like that. Sure. That's what everyone says. I ignored him and opened my laptop. Daniel leaned closer. Just be careful. Why? People who get too close to Victoria usually regret it. I looked at him. You sound like you know something. He smiled. I know enough. He walked away. I watched him disappear into the hallway. Something bothered me. By noon, everyone knew. Whispers followed me. I ignored them. Victoria made that difficult. You're late, she said when I entered her office. I arrived 3 minutes ago. You were supposed to be here 5 minutes ago. I was with Lily. That is not an excuse. I stared at her. Actually, I think protecting your daughter is a pretty good excuse. Her eyes narrowed. Don't challenge me. I'm not challenging you. I'm pointing out that you hired me to protect her. You're careless. And you treat everyone like an employee. They are employees. I'm not talking about the company. She became silent. I continued. You treat Lily like a project, too. You think controlling everything will keep her safe. Victoria stood. You know nothing about what I have done to protect her. Then tell me. I don't owe you my private life. Fine. I turned toward the door. Her voice stopped me. Ethan. I looked back. She lowered her voice. You're right about one thing. What? I don't trust people easily. Maybe there's a reason. There is. Before I could ask more, Lily appeared at the doorway. Ethan. She ran toward me. I smiled. Hey, Lily. She grabbed my hand. Are you busy? I was. She looked at Victoria. Can I borrow him? Victoria sighed. For 10 minutes. Lily smiled. You're my safe person. I froze. You're what? My safe person. I looked at Victoria. She looked away. What does that mean? I asked. It means she feels safe around you, Victoria said. Lily nodded proudly. That's what I said. Lily kept finding reasons to stay near me. Then, one evening, I noticed something strange. Lily, why are you so quiet? She shrugged. Someone asked me questions. My smile disappeared. Who? A man. What man? I don't know his name. What did he ask? She looked at me. He asked about Mommy. I worried. What exactly did he ask? He asked where Mommy works. What did you say? I told him she owns the big building. I stood immediately. Where did this happen? Near school. Did you tell your mother? She shook her head. I forgot. I picked up my phone. I called Victoria. What happened? She asked. Lily told me someone questioned her near school. Silence. What did he ask? Where you work? What time you leave? Whether she stays at home. Victoria's voice changed. Put Lily on the phone. I handed it over. After a minute, Lily gave the phone back. Victoria said, bring her to my office. When I arrived, Victoria was already waiting. Tell me everything. I repeated Lily's words. Victoria's face went pale. Then she became cold. Call security. I watched her issue orders. Check every camera near the school. Yes. Review the employee access records. Yes. And nobody leaves the building until I know who did this. I stepped closer. Victoria, what's going on? She looked at me. I can't tell you. You asked me to protect Lily. I need the truth. You need to know only what keeps her safe. That isn't enough. Her expression softened. Trust me. I wanted to. For the first time, I wondered if Lily's disappearance had been an accident. That night, I returned to my desk. A white envelope waited beneath my keyboard. I opened it. One sentence was written inside. Stay away from the Blackwoods, Ethan, or you will lose more than your job. I stared at the message. Someone knew my name. Someone knew about the Blackwoods. And someone was close enough to reach my desk. I barely slept after finding the message. By morning, I had made a decision. I would not run. If someone inside the company was targeting Lily, I needed to know who. Mia stopped beside my desk. Ethan. I looked up. Can we talk somewhere private? We walked into an empty meeting room. She closed the door. I saw the message you received yesterday. My stomach tightened. How? I was near your desk. Did you tell Victoria? No. Why not? Because I think you need to see something first. She opened her laptop. These are security reports from the last 3 weeks. I leaned closer. What am I looking at? Every unusual access involving Lily's movements. I scanned the records. There are several. Look at the times. I checked each one. Daniel. Mia nodded. Every incident happened shortly after he accessed restricted systems. My heart sank. You're sure? I checked twice. Why didn't you report this? Because Daniel has friends in senior management. I stood. I'm confronting him. Not yet. Why? Because if he knows we suspect him, the evidence could disappear. I sat back down. You're right. Mia closed the laptop. Be careful, Ethan. I will. 2 hours later, Victoria called an emergency executive meeting. I entered the glass conference room and immediately noticed the tense faces around the table. Victoria stood at the front. Someone has leaked confidential company information. My chest tightened. What information? She looked directly at me. Internal financial records. I frowned. How did they get out? Our security team traced the access. She paused. Your employee account was used. The room went silent. I stared at her. My account? Yes. That's impossible. Victoria placed printed documents on the table. The system shows your credentials. Someone stole them. Do you have proof? I have evidence pointing toward Daniel. Daniel looked shocked. Me? Yes. He turned toward Victoria. I've never touched his account. I stepped forward. Then explain why every suspicious security incident happened after you accessed restricted systems. Daniel shook his head. That proves nothing. Mia spoke quietly. Actually, it proves enough to investigate. Victoria looked at her. Mia, stay out of this. I stared at Victoria. You believe the system over me? I believe evidence. Even when the evidence can be manipulated? Her expression hardened. Choose your next words carefully. I took a breath. Someone used my credentials. Then explain why your account leaked company files. I can't. That's what I thought. My stomach dropped. Victoria turned toward the executives. Effective immediately, Ethan Cole is suspended pending investigation. I stared at her. You're suspending me? Yes. After everything I did for Lily? This has nothing to do with Lily. It has everything to do with trust. Her face remained cold. You were given access because I trusted you. And now you believe I betrayed you? I believe the evidence. I looked around the room. Everyone avoided my eyes. Daniel lowered his head, pretending to look worried. I suddenly understood. He wanted exactly this. I looked at Victoria one last time. I thought you knew me better. She said nothing. Security approached me. I walked toward the door. Then I heard Lily. Ethan. I turned. She was standing outside the conference room. Her eyes were filled with tears. Why are you leaving? I crouched beside her. I have to go for a little while. Did you do something bad? No. Then why are they taking you? I looked at Victoria. She gave security a sharp signal. Take him downstairs. Lily grabbed my sleeve. Please don't go. My throat tightened. I'll be okay. But you promised. I know. Security gently separated us. I walked away without looking back. That evening, I sat at Sarah's kitchen table. She placed a cup of tea in front of me. You look terrible. I got suspended. Because of what? They think I leaked company information. Did you? No. Then stop acting like you did. I stared at the table. Victoria believes it. Sarah sat across from me. Then let her. I looked up. What? You keep sacrificing yourself for people who refuse to trust you. She's Lily's mother. And I care about Lily. I know. Sarah leaned closer. But you cannot destroy yourself trying to prove you are good enough for someone else. Her words hit harder than I expected. I remembered Victoria's cold expression. I remembered Lily crying. I remembered Daniel's innocent face. Something inside me finally changed. I'm done begging. Sarah nodded. Good. I'll prove the truth. How? Not for Victoria. I stood. For me. I opened my laptop. I'm going to find out exactly who used my account. Sarah smiled faintly. That sounds like you. For the first time since the suspension, I felt calm. I was no longer Victoria Blackwood's employee. I was Ethan Cole, and I had nothing left to lose. I spent the next 3 days at Sarah's apartment, trying to rebuild a life that had suddenly become unfamiliar. You should be angry, Sarah told me. I am. Then why are you sitting here? Because anger won't prove I'm innocent. She nodded. So what will? Evidence. I opened my laptop. I'm going back through every security record I can access legally. Sarah smiled. That sounds more useful than revenge. I thought about exposing Victoria. What stopped you? I looked at the screen. Lily. Sarah became quiet. She matters that much? She was the reason I got involved. I can't punish her because her mother hurt me. That night, I found something strange in the company's public financial records. Several payments had been sent to small companies I had never heard of. The next morning, Detective Aaron Reed contacted me. Mr. Cole. Yes. I'm investigating suspicious transactions involving Blackwood Industries. I noticed some of them. That's why I'm here. We met at a quiet cafe. Aaron placed several documents between us. Do you recognize these companies? No. They're shell companies. What does that mean? They exist mainly to hide where money goes. I studied the records. Who controls them? We're still tracing that. I pointed at one transaction. This payment happened the same week Lily was followed. Aaron looked at me. That changes things. How? If someone was moving money while targeting Victoria's daughter, this may be connected. We followed the records for hours. Then Aaron stopped. We have a name. I looked down. Marcus Blackwood. Victoria's brother. I stared at the page. Marcus. You know him? I've seen him at company events. Would he have a reason to betray his sister? I don't know. Aaron gathered the papers. Find out. I returned home with more questions than answers. Marcus had always seemed confident, even friendly. I couldn't understand why he would risk his family for money. The next evening, Mia called me. Ethan, can you meet me? Where? Somewhere private. When I arrived, she handed me a thick folder. What is this? Something Victoria never wanted you to see. I opened it. Inside were old documents about Richard Blackwood, Victoria's father. What am I looking at? A deal he made years ago. I read the pages slowly. The agreement had created powerful enemies for the Blackwood family. Some of those enemies had spent years trying to regain control of the company. Why hide this from me? Victoria thought knowing too much would put you in danger. I looked at Mia. Then why give it to me now? Because you're already involved. I turned another page. There was a photograph of Victoria holding Lily as a baby. Under it was a note about succession. I felt cold. Lily is the only heir. Mia nodded. That makes her valuable. And vulnerable. Yes. I closed the folder. So Lily wasn't targeted randomly. I don't think so. My anger returned. But this time it had somewhere to go. I had enough information to destroy Victoria's reputation. I could show everyone how badly she had treated me. I could make her feel the same helplessness I had felt. Then I remembered Lily crying. I remembered her asking me why I was leaving. I pushed the thought away. No, I whispered. Mia looked at me. What? I'm not using this against Victoria. Why? Because Lily's safety matters more than my revenge. Meanwhile, across the city, Victoria sat alone in her office. I didn't know that she had begun questioning everything. She stared at the report showing my account had accessed the stolen files. This doesn't make sense, she whispered. Mia's absence bothered her. So did the timing. Victoria finally called security. Recheck Ethan's access history. Her security chief hesitated. We already did. Do it again. Why? Because I may have made a mistake. Back in my apartment, I called Aaron. I found something else. What? The security records involving Daniel. Send them. I did. Minutes later, my phone rang. Aaron sounded serious. Ethan, don't confront him. Why? Because Daniel wasn't working alone. My blood ran cold. What do you mean? I found another account connected to the same activity. Whose? Aaron paused. You're not going to like this. Tell me. It belongs to someone inside Victoria's inner circle. I stood up. Who? Aaron lowered his voice. Someone who has access to everything you've been investigating. I looked at the folder on my table. For the first time, I understood how deep the betrayal went. Daniel had never been alone. I stared at the dark window. Then who can I trust? Aaron answered quietly. That is exactly what you need to figure out before you make a move. I closed the folder. I had started this investigation to clear my name. Now I was fighting for Lily's life. I waited outside Victoria's office until the building became quiet. Then I knocked once and entered. You shouldn't be here, Victoria said. I need answers. She looked at me. About what? Everything. I placed the documents on her desk. My account was used. Daniel was connected to the security incidents. Money was moved through shell companies. Marcus's name appears in the records. How much of this did you know? Victoria stayed silent. That silence tells me enough. I suspected someone close to my family. You suspected that and still blamed me? I didn't know whom to trust. You could have trusted me enough to ask. Her expression tightened. You were becoming involved. I was already involved. You made me a target the moment you put me near Lily. I was trying to protect you. You destroyed my reputation. I know. You suspended me in front of everyone. I know. You let Lily believe I had done something wrong. Victoria lowered her eyes. I was wrong. I stared at her. Say it again. I was wrong. The words should have satisfied me. They didn't. You believed a computer record over the person who protected your daughter. I was afraid. I almost laughed. You? Afraid? Yes. She looked toward the window. Every threat against Lily reminds me that I can lose her. I said nothing. Victoria continued. I learned long ago that people use emotions against you. My father taught me that. That doesn't excuse what you did to me. No. Then why? Because when I saw your account connected to the leak, I panicked. You didn't investigate. I thought removing you would keep Lily safe. You thought throwing me away would solve everything. Yes. Her voice broke. I was afraid that trusting you would give someone another way to hurt my daughter. I felt my anger weaken, but I refused to let it disappear. You should have told me. I know. You should have given me a chance. I know. And you should have trusted me. Victoria looked directly at me. I'm sorry, Ethan. I stepped back. I'm not ready to forgive you. I understand. The door suddenly opened. Ethan. I turned. Lily stood there. She ran toward me and hugged my waist. I missed you. I looked down at her. I missed you too. She looked at Victoria. Why can't Ethan visit anymore? Victoria froze. I waited. She had no answer. Lily's eyes filled with tears. Did I do something? No, I said quickly. You did nothing. Then why did you leave? I crouched beside her. Because adults sometimes make bad decisions. Victoria closed her eyes. Lily looked between us. I don't like when adults fight. Neither of us spoke. I realized then that our anger was hurting her more than either of us understood. I stood. Victoria, I'll help. She looked surprised. With the investigation? Yes. Why? Because I want Lily safe. And me? I paused. That depends on what you do next. Victoria nodded. What do you need? One promise. Name it. Stop making decisions for everyone alone. She looked at me for several seconds. Agreed. We sat together and reviewed the financial records. Victoria picked up the phone. Marcus, she said. What do you want? Are you being blackmailed? Silence. Marcus whispered. Who told you? So it's true, she said. You don't understand. Then explain. I never wanted your money. Then where did it go? I was paying a debt. What debt? The kind that disappears only when you give them what they demand. I leaned toward the phone. Who are they? Marcus breathed heavily. I can't say. Victoria's voice hardened. Marcus, Lily is in danger. If you know something, tell us. I know. Then help us. I tried. What happened? They threatened to take everything. I asked who. Marcus went silent again. Then he said, Your father knows. The call. Victoria stared at me. He's terrified. So am I said. She looked surprised. But I'm going forward. She nodded. So am I. Victoria pointed to one account. That belongs to Marcus. Then why would he move money? He wouldn't. I frowned. You're sure? I know my brother. I called Aaron. Can you trace the next transfer? I'm working on it. Minutes later, another file appeared. Aaron said, I found something. What? Marcus has been receiving payments. From whom? There's more. I looked at Victoria. What happened? Aaron continued. Marcus isn't stealing from Victoria. He's paying someone. Why? He's being blackmailed. Victoria went pale. Who is blackmailing him? Aaron sent the final transaction record. I opened it. The name at the top made my blood run cold. Richard Blackwood. I looked at Victoria. My father. She stared at the screen. No. I swallowed. The final name belongs to Richard Blackwood. Victoria slowly stood. Then everything we believed about my family is wrong. I closed the file. And whoever controls Richard may be even more dangerous than we thought. Victoria looked at me. Ethan, we need to find out what my father has been hiding. I nodded. This time, neither of us would face the truth alone. I could barely breathe as I stared at Richard Blackwood's name. Victoria stood beside me. My father, she whispered. I looked at her. Are you sure this is real? Yes. Then we confront him. Victoria shook her head. You don't know what he can do. I know what he has already done. She looked at me for a long moment. You're not afraid anymore. I am afraid. I'm just not running. We drove to Richard's private office that afternoon. Victoria walked through the doors first. Dad. Richard looked up from his desk. Victoria. I wondered when you would come. I stepped inside. Richard's eyes moved toward me. And you brought Ethan. You know my name? I asked. I know more about you than you think. Victoria placed the financial records on his desk. Why is your name connected to Marcus's payments? Richard smiled. Because Marcus was following my instructions. Victoria's face hardened. You blackmailed your own son? I protected this family. You destroyed it. Richard leaned back. You were never prepared to lead this company. I built this company. You inherited the foundation I built. Victoria stepped closer. You used Marcus. I gave Marcus a choice. What choice? Obey me or lose everything. I stared at him. That isn't a choice. Richard looked at me. You're beginning to understand. Victoria asked, what did you do to Ethan? Richard smiled again. Daniel was useful. My stomach tightened. You recruited him. Of course. Why? Because you were becoming important to my daughter. Victoria looked shocked. Richard continued. And Lily trusted you. So you framed me? I removed a variable. I clenched my fists. You ruined my career because I cared about Lily. I removed a threat before it became dangerous. Victoria's voice shook. You are unbelievable. Richard stood. You have always been too emotional. I looked at Victoria. For the first time, I understood why she was so cold. She had learned to survive him. Richard had taught her that weakness invited attack. You spent your whole life trying not to become him, I said quietly. Victoria looked at me. I know. Richard slammed his hand against the desk. Enough. He opened a folder. Sign this. Victoria looked down. What is it? Transfer of controlling authority. You want me to surrender the company? You will sign, or the consequences will become worse. I stepped forward. Let me guess. Lily. Richard looked at me. You are learning quickly. Victoria grabbed the document. You will never use my daughter against me. Richard smiled. Then sign. Victoria looked at me. I saw the conflict in her eyes. I could expose everything now. I could give Aaron the evidence, destroy Richard's reputation, and watch the Blackwood family collapse. Part of me wanted that. After everything Victoria had done to me, revenge felt deserved. Then I remembered Lily. I remembered her small hand holding mine. I remembered her asking why I had left. I looked at Victoria. Don't sign. Richard laughed. And what will you do? I answered, protect Lily first. Victoria nodded. I called Aaron. I have everything. Send it. I will. Mia called seconds later. I'm securing the company records now. Can you stop Richard from deleting anything? I'm already working on it. Victoria looked at me. You could have destroyed us. I could have. Why didn't you? Because justice isn't the same as revenge. She said nothing. I felt different. I no longer needed Richard to suffer for me to feel whole. I needed Lily safe. Aaron called again. Ethan, we have enough evidence to move. Then move. Victoria reached for my hand. I looked down. I'm sorry, she whispered. I nodded. But we're not finished. No. We left Richard's office together. For the first time, Victoria didn't walk ahead of me. She walked beside me. I turned back toward Richard. If you hurt her, nothing will protect you. Richard's expression remained strangely calm. You still think this is about money? Then what is it about? Control. Victoria stepped between us. You taught me fear my entire life. I taught you survival. No, she said. You taught me to become someone I never wanted to be. Richard's smile faded. I looked at Victoria. Then let's end this. She nodded. We ended together. I called Aaron. Trace every vehicle connected to Lily. Mia called. I found the security override. Who authorized it? She hesitated. Richard. Then my phone rang. It was Aaron. His voice was urgent. Ethan, where's Lily? I froze. She's with security. Which security team? I gave him the name. That team left the building 20 minutes ago. My blood went cold. What? Aaron continued. Their credentials were authorized using a Blackwood executive code. Victoria grabbed my arm. Where is my daughter? I looked at her. I don't know. She turned pale. Then her phone received a message. She opened it. Her hands began shaking. I looked at the screen. One sentence appeared. Sign the company over, or you will never see Lily again. Richard had made his final move. And this time, he had taken the one person Victoria, and I would risk everything to save. I barely felt the rain as Victoria and I rushed toward the parking garage. Where are they taking Lily? I asked. I don't know. You're her mother. You must have a way to track her. I'm trying. Her hands shook as she called security. No answer. I looked at her. Victoria, stay focused. She stared at me. I can't lose her. You won't. How can you promise that? Because I'm going to help you bring her home. She took a breath. You're right. We reached my car. Drive, she said. Where? The old Blackwood warehouse. How do you know? Richard used it for private meetings. I drove faster, but Victoria stopped me. Don't take unnecessary risks. I looked at her. That sounds like something I would say. She almost smiled. Then her phone rang. Marcus. Victoria answered. Where are you? I have proof. What proof? Everything Dad has been hiding. Marcus, Lily is missing. I know. Then help us. I will. I'm sending the files to Detective Reed. I heard Marcus breathe heavily. Dad used Daniel to manipulate Ethan. He also paid people to monitor Lily. Victoria closed her eyes. Why didn't you tell me? Because I was scared. So was I, she whispered. Marcus continued. I'm done being afraid. The call ended. A message appeared on Aaron's phone. I called him. Did you get Marcus's files? Yes. Is it enough? It's more than enough. What about Daniel? He's trying to leave the country. I frowned. Can you stop him? We're already looking. Victoria looked at me. What did Daniel do? A lot. Aaron sent me several messages recovered from Daniel's phone. I read them. Daniel had discussed my account, the stolen files, and Lily's movements. My stomach tightened. He wrote everything down. Aaron laughed bitterly. People confess when they think nobody is watching. Minutes later, Aaron called again. Daniel has been detained. I exhaled. One problem solved. Victoria looked out the window. Not the biggest one. No. We reached the warehouse. The doors were open. Victoria jumped out before I could stop her. Lily. I followed her inside. Mom. A small voice came from the back room. Victoria ran toward it. Lily rushed into her arms. I stopped several steps away, suddenly unable to move. Victoria held her tightly. I'm here. You came. Of course I came. Lily looked over Victoria's shoulder. Ethan. I smiled. I told you I'd come back. She ran to me. I knelt and hugged her. You kept your promise. I always will. Behind us, police officers entered. Richard was arrested before he could leave the warehouse. I watched Victoria face her father. You lost, Richard said. Victoria shook her head. No. I finally stopped being afraid of you. Richard said nothing. The company survived, but barely. Within weeks, Richard lost control of his shares. His financial crimes were exposed. Marcus cooperated with the investigation, and Daniel's messages became evidence against him. The scandal eventually reached the public. Then Victoria did something I never expected. She called a company meeting. Hundreds of employees filled the main hall. Victoria walked onto the stage. I owe Ethan Cole an apology. The room became silent. She continued. I accused him without giving him a fair chance to defend himself. I trusted manipulated evidence instead of trusting someone who had protected my daughter. I lowered my eyes. Victoria looked directly at me. I was wrong. The room applauded. Afterward, she approached me. Ethan. Yes. I want you back. As an employee? As whatever position you choose. She handed me a new contract. You deserve this. I looked at it. Then I handed it back. No. Her face fell. No. I'm not going back. I can offer you anything. That's exactly the problem. She stared at me. I don't want my future to depend on whether you approve of me. Victoria swallowed. I understand. I need to build something of my own. She nodded slowly. I'm proud of you. Those words meant more than I expected. But I no longer needed them. I had learned to measure my worth without her. I looked at Victoria. I'm not promising to return to the old life. I know. But I'm not walking away from Lily. Victoria nodded. Thank you. I smiled. Just don't make decisions for me anymore. She laughed. I'll try. That's all I ask. The woman behind the ice was still there, but I no longer feared her. I had seen the person underneath. She had finally seen me, too. That evening, I stood outside the company with Lily. Victoria walked toward us. Ethan. I turned. Lily looked at me. Does this mean you're leaving us forever? I looked at Victoria, then back at Lily. I smiled. No, Lily. Then you'll still visit? I will. She hugged me. Victoria watched quietly. For once, there was no order in her voice. Only hope. And for the first time, I understood something. I had entered Victoria Blackwood's world as an employee desperate to prove myself. I was leaving it as a man who finally knew his own worth. I left Blackwood Industries 3 weeks later. I had expected the decision to hurt more. Instead, I felt calm. Sarah helped me turn a small idea into a business. You're finally doing something for yourself, she said. I'm ready. Months passed. My company was small, but every contract felt like something I had earned. Nobody could suspend me because someone changed a file. Nobody could decide my worth with one cold sentence. Lily visited me. Ethan. She ran into my office Saturday. You're getting taller, I said. I'm growing. I noticed. She placed a drawing on my desk. That's for you. I looked at it. It showed 3 people standing beneath an umbrella. Who are these? Me, Mom, and you. I smiled. It's perfect. Victoria arrived a few minutes later. She looked different now. Not softer exactly, but less guarded. Lily, give Ethan some space. But I just arrived. Victoria looked at me. You're busy? Never too busy for her. She nodded. Our relationship had changed. We still disagreed. We still argued. But now she listened. She no longer treated every problem like an order. One evening, Victoria came to my office alone. I brought something. She placed a photograph on my desk. I picked it up. It showed Lily on the night I found her, beneath the shopping center lights. I remember that night, I said. So do I. Victoria sat across from me. I kept this photograph because it reminds me of my mistake. I looked at her, not trusting me. Exactly. I stayed silent. She continued. Meeting you changed how I understand trust. How? I thought protecting people meant controlling everything around them. And now I understand that protection sometimes means giving people the choice to stand beside you. I looked at the photograph again. I haven't forgotten what happened. I know. I don't think forgiveness should erase consequences. It shouldn't. Victoria nodded. I don't expect you to forget. That answer surprised me. For a long time, I had believed winning meant watching the people who hurt me fall. Richard lost his power. Daniel lost his position. Victoria lost the trust she expected from me. But none of that had healed me. Building my life had. Learning to trust myself had. Choosing what kind of man I wanted to become had. Victoria stood. Lily wants to know if you'll visit Sunday. I will. She'll be happy. Victoria reached the door, then stopped. Ethan? Yeah. Thank you. I nodded. Take care of her. I will. After she left, I looked at the photograph again. I remembered the frightened girl in the rain. I remembered promising that I would help. I had kept that promise. But somewhere along the way, I had made another promise to myself. I would never again let someone else decide who I was. I carried the memory of betrayal. I remembered the humiliation. But those memories no longer controlled me. I had lost a job, a sense of trust, and the life I thought I wanted. In return, I found something important. My own voice. My future. My own way forward. I looked outside and smiled. I once helped a lost girl find her mother. I never expected that, in saving her, I would finally find my own way home.